Okay, in this video we're going to talk about a few polar things with calculus, specifically distance between polar curves at a specific value of theta, the rate of change of distance, and then average distance. And then at the end I'm going to do an area problem just because it's actually a more common thing to do. So here's our scenario. So we're given that R1 is greater than R2 between two theta values, so between A and B. And then k is going to be a value that's on that interval. So k is somewhere between a and b. So in this context, the distance between r1 and r2 at theta equals k is just given by, I'm going to name it d of k, and it's just r1 of k, which is the bigger curve, minus r2 of k. So we're just doing like larger minus smaller. And that's along a radial line, and there's going to be a picture later that can maybe help you if you're not following that. And then the rate of change of the distance, once you've defined the distance, is still just the derivative of that thing. So that would be d prime of k is r1 prime minus r2 prime, both evaluated at k. And then the average distance, again, this is just standard stuff you do once you've defined the distance between them. So the average distance between r1 and r2 on the interval from a to b is going to be given by the integral divided by the interval. And then we just have to make sure we use that distance function there. So it's the integral from a to b of r1 minus r2 d theta, and then divided by b minus a. And it's really important for all of these to remember that they're working out because r1 is greater than r2. If you have a change where sometimes r2 is greater, sometimes r1 is greater, maybe you throw an absolute value in there, or maybe you deal with it a piece at a time. It's kind of up to you how you deal with that. On the AP exam, it's always been that it doesn't really change, so you know one is bigger than the other. Two examples, if you're looking for them, from the BC exam, 2017 number 2 part C and 2014 number 2 part C are the ones that motivated me to make this video. I'm not really sure how many other problems it's been on, but it gave my students some trouble, so I thought I should make a video to explain it in a little more depth. So now what we're going to do is a couple of problems related to this. So we're given r1 is theta plus 5 sine theta cosine theta, and r2 is 3/5 theta squared. And then theta is between 0 and pi over 2. And also I provided a graph because on the AP exam they almost always provide that graph. So what we're going to try to do is find the rate of change of the distance between r1 and r2 at theta equals pi over 3. So you can see from the graph that r1 is the bigger curve and r2 is the smaller one. r1 is always greater than r2. So what I really just want to do here is I want to write down, or I guess, yeah, I forgot I put this in here. This is in case you're having trouble figuring out what's happening. So we have these radial lines, and the distance between them for any particular theta value are those little purple parts of the radii. And I kind of like dotted some orange parts of the rest of the radii. So the purple part is specifically the distance between them. So in this problem in particular, we're really looking for the rate of change of that length right there. So that's when theta is pi over 3. So I'm just going to do what I'll end up doing is, so the distance is r1 minus r2, so the rate of change of the distance is r1 prime minus r2 prime, and I want to evaluate it at pi over 3. So I have this, but this would probably be a calculator question, so I'm making it a calculator question. So I actually used my calculator. I defined r1, I defined r2. I used t because it's just easier to type, and then I had the calculator find the derivative at pi over 3. So let's write that down. It's approximately negative 2.757. All right, so that's the rate of change of distance. Let's take a look at another thing we could be asked. So we could be asked to find the average distance between r1 and r2 on the entire interval from 0 to pi over 2. If that's the case, we're just going to do the integral divided by the interval, and the distance is r1 minus r2. So the average of that distance would be the integral over the interval. So let's write it down. So 0 to pi over 2, the function we're dealing with is r1 minus r2, and then d theta, and then divided by pi over 2 minus 0. And again, this is, I'm going to grab a calculator to do this. So approximately, type that in, I get 1.883, and we have that. All right, so that's how we can find the rate of change of distance, how we can find the average distance. Now I'm just going to find the area of the region bounded by the two curves because it seems like something we should do. So we have this. The area that we're looking for is here. And then area between polar curves. So everyone, not everyone, but the most common mistake is to forget to multiply by 1/2. So we have 1/2. It's going to be the integral from 0 to pi over 2. And then what we want to do is we want to basically do like the big area minus the little area. So we're going to do the first curve, so R1, that's the bigger curve, R1 squared. So that will give me the giant area. And if I just did d theta here, it would give me, all of the area covered by R1. But I want to subtract off the area covered by R2, so it's minus. So remember, it's square and then subtract. So minus and then R2 of theta squared d theta. I'm going to use a calculator again. So approximately, there we go, so 4.720. You can go more than 3 decimals if you don't like that kind of rounding, but I'm just going to go with 4.720. Okay, so there you go. That's the distance between them, the rate of change of the distance, the average distance, and then kind of a bonus area problem. I hope you found this helpful, and good luck.